Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be talking about all of the reasons why you should build your own gaming PC compared to just buying one from an OEM other than the price. But before we get into the video guys, make sure to leave a like if you guys watch the video all the way through and end up enjoying kind of the content. And if you enjoy channel content in general, if you watch multiple of my videos, make sure to leave a subscribe, or if you just want to leave it just because it helps me out. We're getting close to 500 subscribers, and that would be a crazy milestone for me to hit here. So yeah guys, thank you for clicking on the video, and hopefully it's a good one. Alright, so to start off, we're gonna be kind of going in like the shallower stuff, and then we'll get into like the more meaty stuff here first. So these first two are gonna come off pretty quick. First one is just gonna be customization. So your PC is going to be exactly what you want it to look like. A lot of times when you are buying a PC from like a OEM like iBuyPower or Dell, you really only get the cookie cutter mold that they offer on their PCs. Sure, you can pick different cases and I guess different motherboards, but in terms of color selection and in terms of lighting and where you want the lighting and what kind of themes that you want with your PC, you are heavily restricted. If you're someone who wants to go with a all white look, you really can't find that on a lot of these companies. If you're someone who's up for building, you're going to have a pretty easy time. There are white editions of motherboards, white editions of CPU coolers, white edition cases, basically white editions of everything that you might need for the internals of your system to make it look the way that you want it to look. As well, you get to pick the quality of fans, you get to pick the lighting of the fans, which definitely are two fairly important things for a lot of people. Usually if you're buying from an OEM, you really don't get to pick the quality of airflow that these fans are going to be putting out. If you're someone who really doesn't care about lights, a lot of people are going to be going towards Noctua. Noctua has some really nice fans that are going to offer you a lot more performance than a standard case fan that an OEM is going to give you. So our second reason is going to be it's fun, and I know that sounds really corny, and it's a learning experience too. I am someone who derives fun from being able to learn new and interesting things, and with PC building, you're learning while you're kind of doing it. When I built my first gaming PC, I literally had a YouTube video on my phone just sitting there, and I was doing everything step by step, which is usually how most people do it. So in the process of actually doing something that is stimulating physically and mentally, you're also just sitting there absorbing information about PCs. And this one's kind of added on to this. I guess you can call this like a 2.5, I guess, kind of step. You're making something of your own, and I find a lot of enjoyment out of this as well. I think the whole reason why I wanted to be a content creator was because I liked being able to make things that people can use, people find informational. Now with YouTube, you're mainly just making content and putting out information, but with a PC, you are actually making a physical creation that is going to be able to do a lot of things. Taking something that you have spent so much time on and having it worked correctly and having a finished product is just one of those things. It's one of the best feelings in the world. It's like the same feeling that I get from making a YouTube video, finally putting the whole thing together and uploading it and getting a lot of views and comments and saying, you know, hey, thank you for the video. I really enjoyed it. And you know, it helps me, it helps brighten my day. And building a PC, again, it costs money, but it is definitely going to brighten your day if you're going to be able to put this thing together. And another reason why you should build your own computer is it isn't hard. It takes you like 2 hours to do. You pull up a YouTube video like I talked about before, and you get the thing done. Yes, there are some things that you can mess up, but if you watch a good video, like I usually recommend the one by Bitwit, they are pretty good at telling you how to put the whole entire thing together. And so I think a lot of people look at it like, oh, it's this really hard thing. Literally, if you have all of your motor functions, like if you can use both of your hands and all of your fingers fine, and you can comprehend a simple YouTube video and you can reenact what the person is doing there, you can build a computer. It's not hard. I would say a 10-year-old can do it because legit there have been 10-year-olds who have built computers. It's really not that hard. So let's go into the more practical reasons of why someone should be putting together their own machine. Now, a huge thing that I think that people in the hardware enthusiast community dislike or kind of just shoot at whenever they talk about OEMs is the quality of parts. Now, a lot of people might not kind of understand that sentiment, but I just kind of want to explain it and talk about why it's so much better building your own PC. So when an OEM like Dell is putting together a PC, they are basically speccing it out to where they can get the most profit for their machine. So to do this, they will cut down the parts that seem to not influence the user's buying decisions very much. The main things that users look at when they are buying a brand new computer is going to be the processor, the GPU, the amount of RAM, and the amount of storage a system has. So the things that don't include that is going to be your motherboard and your power supply, two things that are infamously cut down so that these guys can get more and more margins on their machines. And I think power supplies are the most egregious one of these, because if you are someone who maybe knows a little bit about computers, probably still doesn't care too much about a power supply. You're just like, it literally just converts our power to be able to be something to be used in a PC. Why do I need to care about this? Well, a power supply is literally the heart of your system. It is what's going to be supplying the energy to each individual part of your computer. And again, this doesn't happen very often, but the cheaper the power supply you have, the more and more likely it is to happen where your power supply could somehow break and cause a surge of some kind to different parts of your system, and therefore cause a lot of your parts to die. Most people who go out and buy their own PCs make sure that they get a quality power supply and that they're going to last. Most consumer grade power supplies that you're going to be buying from reputable brands like EVGA, Corsair aren't going to fail you. They're not going to kill off your components. The only thing that might happen is if your components take up too much wattage than what the power supply is able to put out, it just might shut down under load, which again is not fun, but it's not going to kill any of your components on your system. So another reason why you should build your own computers, I think this is number 4, understanding how to build a computer can help you diagnose problems with computers later, but not just in hardware, but also in software. When you put together a computer, you usually have some sort of a fundamental understanding of how a computer works. So for instance, when you are building a gaming PC, right, you plug in your GPU and you understand that the GPU is the only thing that you are really plugging in any sort of video connectors to. So I think that most people could deduce that if they're having some sort of display problem and the computer's running fine, but the display is getting all weird, or you don't have a display out, there might be something wrong with the graphics card, which is not something that people, I guess, really understand if you're not someone who either knows about computers or have built your own. So kind of having that knowledge it's gonna save you a lot of headaches and pains, as well in software, kind of understanding how drivers work, because you are going to have to install all your drivers yourself. How to install like Windows and stuff like that is going to give you a pretty decent knowledge on how to troubleshoot a lot of software problems. And for our last one, we're just gonna be talking about how much money you're gonna be saving in the future. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, well, I thought this video was on all of the reasons why you should build a gaming computer other than the pricing. And so I'll say yes to that, but I'm also going to say this is going to be future pricing. And so what I mean by that is you're going to have some sort of cost later on in your lifetime, right? You're going to have to get a new computer. New parts are made every year, and eventually new software is going to be able to utilize that. And so that means that older computer parts really aren't going to be able to do what they once did. So knowing how a computer works and knowing how to upgrade it will save you a vast amount of money in the future. Most people, when they are buying a pre-built system, are probably going to buy another pre-built in the next 5 years so that they don't have to deal with it. They'll probably end up selling their old pre-built and then using that money to fund a brand new one. Whereas if you're someone who built your own, you very well know how to put in a new CPU, put in a new graphics card, add in some more RAM, change out your OS. You know how to do all that, so your PC can run like it's brand new and you're not having to put out the dough that it costs to build a new PC. Alright, so those are my reasons to why you should be building your own computer, other than just the price, even though I guess we did include something about price at the end of it. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. If you guys have more reasons on why you should build your own gaming PC, please leave them down in the comment section below. If you guys have any tech questions or you just want to talk about tech, please join the channel Discord down in the description. It's a great community. We have, a bunch of different PC part picker builds. We've got different sections that you guys can go and talk to. We've got mods on there that understand PC building. I'm on there a fair bit if you guys want to contact me on there. So yeah, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.